Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Legally Speaking with Rest the Case. And today we have with us Advocate Neelam Singh from Lucknow with over 9 years of experience in matrimony, criminal, civil, consumer court, and many other fields. Welcome to the show, Advocate Neelam. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Aditya. I'm doing great.
So, today's topic of discussion is what are the legal requirements that are there to create a valid will in India? So, beginning with the concept of will, what are the different types of will that is there in India which is valid?
There are 5 to 4 types of will: concurrent wills, holograph wills, mutual wills, and oral wills. Now, the oldest one would be the oral wills. Earlier, in those we give a will to their dear ones in presence of at least 2 witnesses. After the evolution, after some time, we came on to the written wills, which is the valid, but still it wasn't registered. Then after some time, we got the concept of registration of wills, which has now become a valid document. Not now, it's from beginning, and now it's more in practice to do a valid registration will in writing.
So, as you said that the oldest form of wills were oral wills. So, were they considered like valid during that time? And like oral wills can also come in the form of video and audio format, like in the current scenario. So, are those also valid, or is it just written ones?
Earlier, people were not having that much of technologies and not accessible to the phones or to the places also. So oral wills will be in presence of few their dear ones as a witness. They'll go for the saying that no, so and so is my estate after me, and he will look after my properties and all. So that is. After over a period of time when it became challenging before the court, so court held that now we need the written will and that to be registered.
Yeah.
So that it's been a valid document for both the parties who are in interest and also for the rest. Those who can't even claim, they will have a thank you. Yes, we have a registered document, and we cannot claim much. Although after that also people go in suit for challenging the will, but that's a different concept. To have a valid registered will safeguard the rights of the people.
So, like in audiovisual format, it's not really considered. Like the written ones are the ones that are mostly the
audiovisual formats. Only you can see it in movies, I would say.
Yeah, because there have been instances.
Heard about it.
Yeah.
The snacks, what will be think? No, if for suppose a female, if any senior citizen not able to walk to go to the sub-registrar office, so there are options that we can speak to the sub-registrar, no? And they can facilitate them. They can come to their place and register it. But that is also in the very rarest of rare cases. The provision is there, the facility is there, but that happens only in rarest of rare cases. In the audio and video, I haven't heard. I haven't seen. It's mostly in the movies.
Right. Like I think
it's mostly in the movies only.
Yeah. Like it's mostly possible if there's a like situation where the person is not able to write a will on their own. They can always hire a lawyer and ask them to like I have these wishes.
It's always advisable you hire a lawyer because there are many terms which normal people won't be able to understand or maybe able to write it. If you hire a lawyer, you will have those terms and terms in your at least in your will to safeguard your rights and the person to whom you're giving it.
Yeah.
So those rights are safeguarded, and the lawyer can look after it anyways and guide you whatever you can put it and whatever you can't. If suppose a person is having 3 kids, whoever among them is taking care of the parents will be given the child, will be given the properties and estate. So the lawyer can put it in that way, in the legal terms. So that's what is advisable always. This is the person who's doing it, right? It's their choice. Sometimes people think, no, I can write it more better. If you're not having that quality or maybe qualification or access, it's advisable you go with the lawyer. Because to make a property takes years, and to go if you put it anyway this or that side, so no, it's moving on. So that's it.
Yeah, So, what are the different legal requirements that are there to create a valid will in India? Like, what one must know about it?
So the valid requirement would be a person has to be a major, not having affected with any illness and all, having a proper state of mind while giving it a will, and he shouldn't be under a pressure, because in the will we do that. When we execute it, we write it as well that I'm under not any pressure to give this will. Because maximum time it happens when old age person is there. He has only extended family member taking care of him, so they may pressurize him. We are taking care of you. Come and write a will for us. So he shouldn't be that much pressurized to do it, because he may has his own wish as well to give it to certain part to them and certain to somebody else. So we keep it's a legal requirement for a will that whenever you're writing, it shouldn't be under any pressure. With the free consent, with the free mind, you're giving your properties to any of your estates or any of the persons, any of your children. So that's the thing. And then it has to be on the stamp paper. But your requirement is you need to pay certain stamp duty to the government.
Okay.
Stamp duty for registration of a will. That is the term I would suggest to be used, because that goes as a registration and the government has a record. When we are doing it before the sub-registrar, you need to pay a registration fees. That depends on the place to place from where you are. And yes, it has to be registered under the section 63 of the Act. And person who's having no vision and person who is not able to hear it, they can also give it a will under with the assistance, with the proper assistance. The person should not be having vested interest in this. The proper assistance, they can also give their will to any of their, if they have kids or any testators, they can give.
So I read somewhere that Muslim women can't have their own or something.
Yes, Muslim women can't, and Muslim women can't give the will, cannot create a will of their own.
Yeah.
That is one of the provisions.
So as you said,
and one disadvantages, but they can go for a gift deed. They can go for a gift deed, I think.
Okay, so how is it different, like with the will?
Gift is you're gifting it, and it will be come into force immediately after the registration, whereas will come into force after the death of the person giving it.
Achha.
And then also there is a difference of registration fees and all.
Okay. So
every execution has a registration fees.
So as you said that there's often times that a will is made under pressure, or maybe someone with a disability, like without vision or hearing, they want to create a will, but there can be discrepancies. So is there a way to verify or keep it fair for those people, or is it something that we will never know?
See, whenever you are executing, it's for those who are listening, those who are going to do it in the near future. Whenever you are executing a will, a person over there, it could be the sub-registrar or it could be the staff of sub-registrar, they will ask you this question more than 2-3 times. And to understand your body language, if at all you are in a pressure. Proper, what I have in my city, the photographs are also clicked over there along with the witnesses. So if the person needs any help, that time also he can ask for it. No, I'm under pressure. They are pressurizing me. So that way they can go ahead. But yes, if suppose, for God forbid, that also it gets executed, later you have certain remedies to cancel it as well. Or you can you can cancel it and put a fresh will. But that goes in that. Basically, to avoid that would be better, because multiple wills also will create a chaos later.
I think it is very important to keep this in check and balance, because they're especially with people who have a lot of property and assets, there's this conflict who is created, and there's a lot of pressure as well. So coming to my next question, what are the different important elements of a will that is there? Like what all things are involved when a will is created?
Firstly, you need to have a intention. You're clear that yes, I'm going to give this will to so and so person. And second, yes, major of age definitely, and of sound mind. You shouldn't be at the time of giving a will. You shouldn't be suffering from any illnesses, wherein your mind is not stable. Basically, that is what is being checked always, because most of the time when a person gets bedridden completely and no doctor says there's no cure for this, but that time they keep on checking. Sometimes they may even ask for a doctor's certificate whether the person is of sound mind to give it a will, because nobody is no government official will take any risk on the job, right? So that's the thing. Then witnesses are also required. A proper registered will goes in the way that no, they will detailedly write the properties which you are giving it, then the details of the witnesses, and it will get executed. And see every detail number, serial numbers, everything will be coming on a registered will.
So is this process of registering a will a very long one, or is it like very easy process? Like
No,
it
no, no,
happens
no, not at all. It's a very easy process. It's a very easy process. Only thing, you need to be clear what are documents you need to give, what is the property you need to give, that you need to share with your counsel. And yes, when you want to execute it. If suppose, for you, as I'm taking the example of a sick person. Suppose a sick person is on a very, no, that he needs, a doctor must have said that he has only 10 days to live, maybe 10 days. That's also very, it's in nobody hand. So the best way is to execute it as soon as possible, maybe within 48 hours. But the drafting of the will has to be a proper. That always needs to be checked, cross-checked after after rough draft, and then go for the execution. What I have in my city, because before final day of execution, 2 to 3 times I tell the party to cross-check it. That's the minimum I could say. Maximum you can go at 5 to 6 times, because it's at the end of the day it's your property that you're gifting it. That you're giving it to your testators, to the person who will be taking care of it. So the terms and details of the property needs to be very clear, and it's a very easy process.
Yeah.
I would say.
So what are the basic documents required for this process?
Basic would be your ID proofs, I would say. Your Aadhaar, PAN, these details, and then your property, whatever property you want, those details will be required. Then witnesses' ID proofs, photographs, witnesses' 2 ID proofs will be required. Aadhaar, PAN, or driving license. You can go ahead with it. And the photos, passport size photos. And that's a very minimum requirement, not much that you need to go somewhere and get those documents in. That's a minimum documents required.
So now that we know what will is, if now there's this situation also that a lot of people face is there's no will and there's a lot of property. So how is it divided among the family? If as what we say, I think intestate, if a person dies, so how does that process work?
Well, that is completely a civil case. Suppose a person expired and he has B and C as its children. So after the expiry of A, B and C will go to the civil court. They'll file for the partition, they'll file for the succession as well. Because he has gone without a will. When you go with a will file, when you execute a will in favor of any of your kids, suppose B, so that gives a peace in the family after you go. There's no fight much. Or you may divide it as per your wish, no? That so and so has taken care of me, so I'm giving so and so portion of my property to him and the rest to him. House, if it's a 2-floor, ground floor to the elder and the top one to the younger. It's such a basic example I can't say. So that gives a clarity and that gives peace in the family after the person is done, after the person dies. Otherwise, the people are just fighting for the case then in the court then, and that may go to, and when till where what time that case gets concluded is in no one's hand. Civil cases take some time. Okay.
That's true. So, the will laws in India are pretty fair, I think. But do you have any suggestion or your personal opinion where you think that anything else should be added in the will laws to make it better?
I think it should start with the videography also that you said, no? That every
Yeah.
will should have a videographed thing that person is coming, how the person is coming, sitting on the chair, and photograph is being clicked over there at the system, and he or she is saying yes, I am giving it with my free will, so that when in future if there is any dispute, you have this recording that yes, the person was okay. Because when the dispute comes in civil, they say he wasn't able to walk, he was in a mental pressure, he went in so and so way,
Yeah,
he
right.
was at the gunpoint. Sometimes these
Hmm.
all terms also come. So the sub registrar and the person, other person also who's at the risk, can show this document as a evidence, as a secondary evidence that the person has executed with the free will. Although to whom he is executed is not required or is not needed at the time of execution, but it comes as a help. So videography of the execution can help us in the future, I would suggest.
Yeah, I think it'll be a very good supporting document to the written one as well.
Absolutely. Then
Because
there will be less of civil cases on this on them.
yeah,
Because you have a
and
secondary evidence.
yeah,
Mm.
it can be
But
leveraged
although
that way.
absolutely it can help a lot then lower the suits and all civil suits at least.
Yeah, and so there is also cases where wills are challenged. So
Absolutely.
in that case also, as you said about the different cases that happen, so in your personal experience, have you like come across such cases where will is challenged and the party has won the case, or like how is it?
See, when there's a challenge of will, so that will could be a very old will, maybe after before 95 and all, or maybe I would say before 90s will. There was one such case wherein a valid will, when I found it, we were from the one party who has a very valid will. Other party got a will execute, but it wasn't registered or something. The one our party has a proper execution was there, numbering everything. That party went up to the High Court to challenge it because there was a lot of property involved in that case. And to tell the facts, the one who was challenging was one of the servants who was taking care of the deceased when he was in a very old age. Although they lost the case, but still they, from civil to district, from district to high court, they even went for the challenging, and the property was very prime. So the dispute goes to very extent. I came up at the very end, maybe on the 8th or 9th year I was there in that case.
So is
a
it
lot
very
of disputes,
difficult
many
in
mediation.
such cases, like challenging of will? Because mostly will is like the ultimatum key. This is what they
Because if
wanted.
parties, yeah, because what happened, no? If both the parties are stringent that no, I want my full will property, and the other also say no, I am the owner, then it's very difficult to come at a settlement. If they settle down to certain terms, then it's fine. Although we know one is correct and the other one is completely wrong. But when it's go, as I said, no, 8th to 9th year, I got to know about when I came on that case. Suppose what if it had went to 20 to 25 years? One generation has already seen that case completely out. Yeah? So that's the thing. So, and that's also because property is something, immovable property is something nobody wants to leave. That's the thing. And if it's at a very prime location, so no one wants to give it to them.
Yeah. So, Advocate Neelam, it was great talking to you about will and how the laws of will work in India. And I hope you also had a great time in this podcast.
Yes, I have enjoyed myself. Thank you so much.
So, thank you all for joining us in here, and we hope to see Advocate Neelam very soon in our next podcast. And until then, stay tuned with Legally Speaking with Rest the Case, and we'll see you soon again. Thank you.